one of my favorite cities, Stargate, St. Louis, and I like to refer to it as the gateway to the stars. And of course, we're going to start off with the Gateway Arch. It's right in its name. It's a gateway. And this is part of the Jefferson National Expansion. It was created by a Finnish architect by the name of Eero Saarinen. And it's our nation's tallest national monument, 630 feet wide, 630 feet tall. Now, according to the gentleman who made it, Eero Saarinen, he says his major concern was to create a monument which would have a lasting significance and would be a landmark of our time. Neither an obelisk or a rectangular box nor a dome seemed right on this site for this purpose. But here at the edge of the Mississippi River, a great arch just seemed right. Just seemed to fit in. We're going to come across that time and again today. And, well, although he built the arch, he wanted to also, he said it's an arch, but I want this to be symbolic of an obelisk if you view it from the side. So what he really did is he incorporated the male and the female symbolism into this one monument, the phallic obelisk and the wound arch. Now, one thing Mr. Saarinen hadn't found, and I've done a lot of research on this, is I haven't seen anywhere where he said this could be symbolic of a rainbow bridge. But I tell you what, when you pull into town, especially after dark, and the city lights are glistening off the Gateway Arch, this thing appears like a giant rainbow, a 630-foot tall rainbow. Of course, the Rainbow Bridge can be considered a gateway between the heavenly and the earthly realms. The Rainbow Bridge can also be considered a gateway between humanity and the gods, but it can also be considered a gateway between ourselves and our higher selves. So the question is, what about the Gateway Arch? Could there be any Rainbow Bridge symbolism found at the Gateway Arch besides its, outward appearance? Well, the only way to find that out is to go to the Gateway Arch. So I went there, and you can actually take a tram ride to the top of this monument. Pretty fun. But to do so, you got to go into the basement, into the underworld of the Gateway Arch, and see the museum and some of the sculptures they got down there. The first thing you see when you get in the basement of the Gateway Arch is called the Builder's Mural. It's a 45-foot long brick mural, and it's dedicated to all the artists and the architects who built our national memorials. You can see the obelisk up there, Mount Rushmore, Eero Saarinen, he's sitting under the Gateway Arch, Statue of Liberty. Does anybody recognize a monument up there that wasn't built by one of those architects under the arch though? Utah's Rainbow Bridge. Lady Liberty standing right in front of it. Well, Lady Liberty, actually, she's officially titled Liberty Enlightening the World. And she's standing or sitting upon Utah's Rainbow Bridge, considered one of the world's largest natural bridges. Now, when we see this depiction, Lady Liberty standing in front of the Rainbow Bridge, it's very similar, symbolically speaking, to when we see Jesus riding the Rainbow Bridge, sometimes at Judgment Day. It's also very similar to we see Mithras being born from the rock. And down below, we see Mithras in his cosmic cape under what looks like a rainbow bridge, and it's got this funny little red hat on. Well, that little red hat is actually called a Liberty Cap. So it starts to make a little sense. And incredible research by Mr. William Henry discovered that, well, in the heart of our capital, known as this painting, apotheosis of George Washington, and he too sits on a rainbow bridge, just like Jesus. This time, he's actually encircled by a gate of 72 stars. There's that number again, and correlated with the Rainbow Bridge. Well, what about Liberty? Well, I started researching this. I Googled, Liberty and the Rainbow Bridge, and this is what initially popped up, Liberty in front of this bridge in Japan, which is cool. But, I'm looking for a Rainbow Bridge. Well, find out, this is actually titled Japan's Rainbow Bridge. So what do we have? Identical depictions. We have a brick mural of Lady Liberty and the Rainbow Bridge, and then we actually have a city layout with Lady Liberty and the Rainbow Bridge. absolutely identical symbolism on opposite sides of the world. Lady Liberty enlightening the world. Then I did recall, after looking back at some of women's work, I had seen Liberty on the Rainbow Bridge. There she is, just to the left of George Washington, in the heart of our capital. So she's been portrayed riding this Rainbow Bridge all over the world. So at this point I'm thinking, okay, I can use that. There is some Rainbow Bridge symbolism within the basement of the Gateway Arch. So that said, it was time to catch the tram ride to the top. And the last monument before you get on the tram ride is this Mark Twain Prohibition exhibit. It's a scale of what happens while you're waiting in line, as well as children will go up here and weigh themselves against each other. And I've been there 3 times. Every time, whoever was lighter, which is weird to me, whichever child was lighter thought they got to get on the tram ride first. They would get in line first. Well, when I seen this, or the second time I seen this happen, it started to remind me of the weighing of the heart ceremony in ancient Egypt, where at the time of Judgment Day, they would weigh your heart against the feather. And if your heart was lighter than the feather, then your soul was granted access to the sun door, the Stargate, and permission to cross the Rainbow Bridge, as William puts it, to the dimension of the blessed. Identical symbolism here, while you're waiting in line to go up from the top of the Gateway Arch. So imagine my surprise when the door for the tram ride opens. It's actually a sun with a door. A sun with a door. Identical symbolism. You can think of a sun with a door as the same as a star with a gate, right? Next stop, top of the Rainbow Bridge. Just incredible symbolism before you even make your way up top. Absolutely. Now, once you do make your way up top, I like to call these the windows of opportunity. And, well, the Gateway Arch describes these as 32 portal-like windows. When you look out one of these 32 portal-like windows, as they describe them, you can look to the land of the west. This is the Gateway Mall. And this is 3 or 4 blocks of nothing but incredible art and architecture down there. And we're going to do a little bit of it today. But then you look to the east, the land of the rising sun, and you're actually looking back at the Cahokia Mountains. Well, just so happens these windows, these portal-like windows, they measure 7 inches by 27 inches. 72 forward and backward. And, well, you're looking out those windows, you're looking back at Mound 72 at Cahokia, the cosmic calculator, Woodhenge with the 72 red cedar posts. The same symbolism just keeps re-emerging in ancient landscapes as well as their modern neighbors. So, at this point, I'm going to put just a few of these puzzle pieces that we've come across up until this point together. So we've come across the Rainbow Bridge. Not only does the Gateway Arch look like a Rainbow Bridge, but within it there's Rainbow Bridge symbolism. And we've also come across savior figures and cosmic deities, birdmen, pale prophets, and in conjunction with both of those, we're coming across 72 gateways. The cosmic calculator, and even George Washington sits within a ring of 72 stars. So to me, it begs the question. This is pure speculation on my part. But is it possible that as we come into alignment with our galactic center, a rainbow bridge, a gateway to the gods, could re-emerge? And could cosmic deities, birdmen, pale prophets, or even archetypes thereof reappear and possibly do so in sacred landscapes that have been laid out with the cosmic pentagram? Is it possible? But another possibility, as we achieve galactic alignment, could it be our inner rainbow bridges, our chakra systems, that are being activated, propelling us as individuals into cosmic beings, into cosmic deities, into the God of women? Or, my favorite answer is possibly both. Possibly both.